Hello and a warm welcome to Exchange Hall here in Manchester Central. On Saturday night, two of Britain's premier fighters will meet in a match-up widely accepted in the trade as a Fight of the Year contender. Styles make fights, and these two styles make for a potential barn burner. Two proud fighters, neither prepared to give an inch, the fight that we didn't know that we needed. We've had 8 weeks of sparring recollections, percentages, promises, steaks and seasoning, billboards, rematch clauses, fast food jackets, and no shortage of face-offs. But after today, the talking stops. So what does it all come down to? Who is the more skilled? Who has the bigger heart and will to win? Who wants it more? Who needs it more? Or simply, who is just better? In one corner, the man who's been there, seen it, and done it. Liam Smith hasn't just got the T-shirt, he's got a wardrobe full. The former world champion and part of the famous Fighting Smith family knows what it takes to be king of the world and is on the hunt for a second world title. In the opposite, he really needs little introduction. The son of a legend, but now a man very much writing his own career story. He's the ultimate showman, and he is pure box office entertainment. In his own words, the bad guy is back. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Eubank Jr. Associated teams, thank you. We'll come to you shortly, but we will go straight to the fighters. Chris, I'll come to you first. The floor is yours ultimately. What do you want to say today? What's your message?
What's my message? I don't have anything specific to say at this point in time, but I'm happy to be here. I'm on weight. I actually weighed in lighter than Liam yesterday, so I guess that argument about weights and stuff like that is irrelevant now. Liam's the bigger man, so I'm comfortable. I'm happy. Glad to be back in Manchester. I've fought here many times, and I've always had an awesome time here. So can't wait to get in there and do the job.
Is Thursday a fight week? What percentage are we at the moment?
Listen, I'm cutting weight right now, so I'm on a good solid 40, 45, 44% right now. But I'll be 50% on the night, absolutely. A strong 50%, and that'll be more than enough to take care of the man to my left.
Liam Smith, ultimately we can respond straight away. Will it be enough to beat you?
Do you think it'll be enough, Ant? No one in this
tough gig up here straight away, isn't
it? Like I said, we've said since the start, since the first press conference, that's Chris being Chris. Nobody believes him.
As the fight week has come closer and now we're here on Thursday, has your mentality or prediction changed at all? Do you believe at middleweight you do have the strength and power to knock him out?
Well, I 100%. That's why I took the fight at 160. We didn't have to. There was no weeks and weeks and weeks of 158, 159, 157 even. But again, the only people who this will be a surprise to or a shock to are the people who think I can't box at 160. If, like I said beforehand, if this fight is at 154, there's only one winner.
I don't want to get in the habit of asking questions that I already know the answer to, but has he got under your skin or in your head at all?
You're joking, aren't you? There are 4 better fighters than Chris. How could he get under my skin? Like saying 50% and 10 up in KFC jackets. Because I replied to him, people think he got under my skin. I can't get under my skin.
Let's go to the promoters. Ben Shalom, CEO of Boxer. It's caught fire, is one way to describe it today already. It's been a feisty build-up, and it's getting close now.
Yeah, I remember when I met Liam, he said, "Get me the Eubank fight and I'll sign for you." It was as simple as that. This was the fight that he wanted. This was the fight that he felt comfortable with. This was the name that he wanted. He feels like he's the world champion. He's the one that's gone and fought Canelo. He's the one that's achieved all these things. And they're similar ages. And Eubank Jr is a massive name. For me, the biggest name outside of the heavyweight division. People want to tune in, whether they want him to win, whether they want him to lose. And the reason this is such a big fight is Liam Smith is truly, truly world level. And that's why we have a sold-out arena on Saturday night. It's a bigger fight than even when Liam first mentioned it to me. It's just built and built and built. It's 2 personalities, 2 opposite people, but 2 fighters that will come forward and give everything. It's got war written all over it, and I think this is what British boxing really needs right now.
Callis Howland, global head of Wasserman Boxing. It has built, and is this the build-up, and will the fight match the build-up in your opinion?
I don't think we're there yet. I mean, a couple of days to go, a bit more build-up. It's a natural, isn't it? It's a fight that hasn't been put on by Ben or me. It's been called for by the fans. It's one of those fights that it's authentic. There's no BS up here. There's a dislike. I think there will be a dislike between Liam and Chris if they work together in the same office, the same, workspace. They're just people who don't get on. You've got the Liverpool tough guy, then you've got the flamboyant southerner. Those are characters that don't genuinely get on. So I don't think it's really about some sort of hype around a fight. I think the fact that they don't work in an office together and they're able to settle this and we can all benefit from that and watch it is fantastic. And that's what boxing's about. It's about settling a score, and this score is a genuine score. It's a genuine dislike. And hey, we're all gonna be treated to something very special on Saturday night in a venue which has seen so many historic fights over the years, so many great fights, and I think that this will be one that we will all go back and watch in 10 years' time and beyond. I think it's going to be a real special fight. I do think that Liam, you're going to get seasoned and grilled in the later rounds, but I think while it's going, it's going to be good.
Saute that meat, baby.
Calla, you're better than that, mate.
I've got to say,
You're better than that.
I've got to say, there has been a very interesting thing that I haven't seen in 20-something years in boxing. The training camp, they stopped about a few weeks ago and moved to a bit of a Karate Kid style, so they're working on the chopping and the sautéing instead of the traditional boxing moves. So Mr. Miyagi, a.k.a. Roy Jones Jr., has been doing a fantastic job on the herbs that are going to be sprinkled all over the ring on Saturday night. It's going to be fireworks, and looking forward to it.
Let's bring in the wider teams, and I'm not talking about chefs and fast food restaurants. Joe McNally, great to welcome you up here, Joe. I know that you're tremendously proud of Liam. That was a line that I stole from yourself. He's got not just got the T-shirt, he's got a wardrobe full. Behind closed doors, what have you seen in Liam, and how confident are you in your man? And quite frankly, how highly do you rate Chris Eubank Jr.?
Well, regarding Liam, Liam's Liam. He's been in the game a long time, and he's the ultimate professional. Hence why, as Liam states, he's still at the top of the sport and topping these bills. I've got, in this camp, I'd say, with the full 6 pound move up, a happy Liam. We can drink more, eat more. Chris certainly isn't eating them steaks because he's tighter at the weight. So, but I've got a happy Liam, and the camp's been fantastic. He's in a good position. He's ready for Saturday night. Regarding Chris, he's a fantastic fighter, good athlete, but he is 33 years old. He's not a young chicken, himself. He's been in a few hard fights, and it's a good fight for the two of them at this stage in their career, definitely.
Something that came from our shoulder programming, gloves are off, behind the ropes, is that there can be a feeling, certainly Chris and Roy's critics, that he could be caught between styles. Do you subscribe to that?
Yeah, he's got a fantastic coach in Ronnie Davis. I know Roy being Roy's a legend in the sport. I can't comment, I haven't looked too much into his coaching, but I've respected two of them. Ronnie Davis is a legend, and I'm assuming Junior listens to them religiously, and Roy's there for a bit of guidance, and I'm sure Ronnie's left no stone unturned for Junior's preparation in this.
It's a question I'd like to ask Liam later, but I'll ask it to you first.
Yeah.
What sort of fight, you won't give your game plan away, Liam Smith's side, but what sort of game plan are you expecting from Chris Eubank Jr? What sort of approach are you expecting?
Every approach, I'm expecting a bit of Roy. I'm expecting a little bit of ferociousness, everything, I hope he brings everything, because that's what Liam's prepared for.
Roy Jones Jr, absolute pleasure to welcome you here, one of the best to ever do it. Great to see you working with Chris again. Have you seen those questions that have been asked of the team? Is he trying to make him Roy Jones Jr? Is Chris Eubank Jr caught between styles? And what would your response to that be?
It's very difficult. First of all, thank God for having us all here today. I'm so delighted to be a part of this big event because it's an awesome fight, and it's so good to see two guys who are pretty much at the top of their games fight each other at the right time. So I applaud both fighters for that. Second, all the comments. The problem people have is that when you're a complete fighter, there's no styles to be caught between. Chris is a complete fighter now. He brought me here to help make him a complete fighter. I came here to help make him a complete fighter. Now Chris can fight any style he wants to fight. I mean, there's no such thing as being caught between when all of it is still that style. I wasn't a certain type of fighter. I had toe-to-toe battles. I had boxing battles. I had stalking battles. I had all kind of battles. So it's like I was never a guy who was stuck on one style. I can teach any style of boxing, but with a person like Chris, he's so unique that it's best to teach him all of it, and he learns it all. So he's a complete fighter now.
Do you mind if I ask you what sort of approach you're expecting from Liam Smith? Not only were you a tremendous fighter, but I think everybody that watched HBO and part of your later broadcasting career, you are a world-class pundit as well. So it's not lost on me that you know Liam Smith, that you've worked on Liam Smith's fights.
Yeah.
How dangerous of an opponent is he for Chris?
He's a highly dangerous opponent. For me, as a trainer, you have to be very careful and smart enough to know that the last fight was bigger hype because of it was kind of being and because of the family names. It was a bigger fight, but this fight may not have quite the hype that fight had, but this is a better opponent. Liam has been in the ring with the likes of Canelo Alvarez, so Liam knows his way about the ring, and that's a beautiful thing because with that being said, that pushed Chris even more to get ready and get prepared. I mean, so if he chooses to use 40%, 50%, that's on him. But our goal is to get him as ready as we can get him, then it's up to him to how much he uses.
Let's come back to the fighters, Chris. Does that anger you at all, that constant questioning of, are you getting the best of yourself under Roy Jones Jr.? Are you caught between styles? What's your answer to that, those that have labelled that against you?
Well, there's, that's just a line people use to try and, add pressure and, pick holes. A lot of people are, trying to, saying that I've got more to lose and the pressure's on me. But the truth is, the UK we're in hard times at the moment. I can only imagine how hard it is in Liverpool right now. And, Liam has got a responsibility. He's got the pressure. There are a lot of unemployed Liverpudlians out there who are looking for a hero. And that's Liam. They need somebody to get them through those hard times. It's his job to help them out. And so the pressure is really on him, not me.
Chris, just to go back to that question, if you fight him or you box him, ultimately, does it matter to you? Do you believe that you win either way? After what's happened today, do you want to make this a statement and win this fight by knockout?
I've always wanted to win this fight by knockout. The fact that, Liam is being a child up here is, it gives me a little bit of extra incentive to go out there and embarrass him, but the goal is always to go out there and stop my opponent.
Chris, what part's being a child, mate? What part is being a child?
Listen,
have a conversation now.
I'm answering the man's question. If you want to keep interrupting.
I'm asking you the question. No, what part of me being a child up here now is stating? You said the 50
we're not going to go over the same things. I've said what I've said. You've said what you've said. I'm going to knock you out in 2 days' time. Be prepared.
Who was the last person you knocked out?
Be prepared.
Who was the last person you knocked out? I can't remember either.
Liam, after it's been a spicy build-up, winning is ultimately all that matters in professional sport. Do you want to make a statement on Saturday night, or is it just the win that matters?
Look, it's just the win that matters regardless, but, there's nothing more than I'd love to make a statement and stop Chris Eubank, but a win regardless, and I'll win at any means necessary.
Will you give a final prediction?
Liam Smith win.
Chris, will you give a final prediction?
No, I've already said what I'm going to do.
Okay, well, I think all that's left is for our fighters to go face-to-face.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event, Saturday evening, live from the AO Arena here in Manchester on Sky Sports Box Office and syndicated around the world. 12:30 3-minute rounds. From Brighton, England, the former British IBO and WBA champion, Chris Eubank Jr., and the former British Commonwealth and WBO World Champion, Liam Beefy Smith. Sold out, blockbuster, 2 former champions.